Hey guys, it's Lisa, and today we're going to do this makeup look. This is a 90s makeup look, but it's more of the minimal makeup look. Now I absolutely love the 90s supermodel look. So if you'd like me to do that, I would love to do it for you. But this is more of the Gwyneth Paltrow, the Kate Moss, not smoky, but just your typical Kate Moss, your Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, more of that minimal 90s makeup look, where it's just about the lashes, the lips, the brows, no bronzer, just a good blush, no highlight, and that's it. So if you would like to see how I achieved this look, then keep on watching. I want to kind of do a combo of how I used to do my makeup back in the 90s, and I'm going to think of my heyday when I felt my best, which was probably around 25. And I want to kind of replicate the look that I had on in my 90s minimalism Walmart fashion video, which is where I wore this sweater, these jeans. I will put that video up here. This also is in collaboration with Walmart. And when I think back to the 90s, to the makeup I used to wear, I did wear a lot of Chanel, but my lipsticks were usually, okay, I had a Chanel Bisque was my go-to. Oh my gosh, it was like the beginning of the dark liner with the light lip. Everyone asked me what that lip was. But I wore a lot of Revlon, L'Oreal, and Max Factor. Max Factor was my jam. So I have all of my drugstore, Walmart type makeup out here, and I even unpackaged some new brushes from Eco Tools that we'll use, and let's just have fun. I don't really have anything planned, but doing this minimal, think Kate Moss, not smoky eye, minimal. Think about them more than on the runway, maybe the Calvin Klein ads or Donna Karan or some of those real minimal looks. Think that way. And Gwyneth Paltrow looks like that. Okay, so I'm going to use this True Match W4 Light Medium Warm from L'Oreal. I certainly did not wear a primer. I don't know if I ever wore a primer until YouTube. This is a really pretty foundation. So you can see it's still very minimal. And I do remember back then I would do my concealer first. Thought about trying that, but I hate to rock the boat too much here. And I don't remember using any setting spray whatsoever. You know, that probably depends on where you lived, because I think my makeup was always kind of dewy, but more matte makeup is the look for this look. Let's go in with this e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, Light Peach, because I do usually need a little bit of like brightness up underneath my eyes. So when I'm doing this type look on days that I know I'm not going to wear lashes and all of that, I do try to get my skin pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, I want good skin, I want good lips, I want good brows. That is what I'm looking for. I don't worry about lashes or eyeshadow, so that's what we're doing today. We're doing just good skin and good brows. And you know, should I set my under eyes? I feel like I should. Should we give Maybelline one more shot? Let's do that. Okay, Maybelline Fit Me in Fair Light. To get the brightness, you definitely need to go with the Fair Light. I'm going to dip my damp sponge, and I'm going to really work it into this sponge, because this can get dry. I would just do this according to if you have normal, oily. I have oily skin. And I do remember powdering my T-zone back then. So even though I probably wore more radiant foundations. For powder, I'm going to use this L'Oreal Infallible. I've got it in Radiant Sand. Let's see how much color this gives before I go in with anything else. I'm going to pick this fluffiest brush, and let's see. I'm thinking this might be kind of like a bronzer. Now, there are so many looks for the 90s for makeup. Like, one of them I saw was sculpted, and of course there's your grunge. But like I said, we're doing kind of that minimal, like I did in that video. Now let's do some lips. Oh my gosh, you guys. I have so much to choose from here that I don't know where I want to go. I kind of want to go, I remember my go-to combo was Chanel Nude Lip Liner, which is kind of a dirty mauve-y type color, and that light bisque I mean, I was the true classic Naomi Campbell nude. But then I also did do some browns, like this one, Bare Reveal. So that's a possibility here. And for the lip liner, feeling like I may have a hard time. Oh my gosh, here is Rich Chocolate, number 120 from Maybelline. These are some of my favorite lip liners. I don't want it to be too dark, so let's start with Mastermind, another one of my favorites. And this will put down kind of that mauve-y, lighter base. I mean, we know that Max Spice was the go-to, but I'm not as much a fan of that. It's a little orange for me, and it doesn't last long enough. Okay, Purely Nude from Maybelline. You know, that's definitely lighter. Now let's take Rich Chocolate and lightly go over this. I do this all the time, layer lip liners. As you can see, I'm barely putting any pressure. Woo, I'm a little scared. Because that is needing some blending, let's use one of these little brushes over here to blend. You might already have these lips because I've shown them all before. This is one I really like. It is the Biscotti Mommy from Wet n Wild, but it is one of those that is mushy, but pretty. It almost is like wearing a gloss with a liner, which was another very 90s thing. Ooh, I love that. Love it. Don't forget about this little beauty. I just went to New Mexico for a week on vacation, and this was my eyeshadow palette. I love it, and I would use it for this look, but I've got a couple of new palettes that I wanted to use, like this one from CoverGirl, Clean. It is a good like brown basic palette. And then I've got this one, the 24 karat nudes, which would be another good one for this look. I'm thinking this one's more supermodel 90s. So let's save this one. And gosh, we haven't done a blush. In the 90s, my go-to blushes were Tempting Beige was my go-to blush. This is one of the new Infallible blushes in Daring Rosewood. Yep, that was more me. I was daring Rosewood. I'm gonna just dip this brush in here, and oh my goodness, it picked up a lot. So I'm gonna actually knock it off on my hand and then lightly do my blush. And if you'll notice, I haven't put on a bronzer. I'm hoping that the powder we used is enough. I didn't wear bronzer back then, believe it or not. I just wore blush, no highlight. So I'm thinking this is gonna be enough. Let's go with the e.l.f. Taupe brow pencil. I'm gonna just do probably my normal brows, to be honest with you. This is a really good brow pencil. I think the NYX, it might be a little bit darker. It's always a little much at first. And I'll tell you a secret. I don't even think I thought about my brows in the 90s. Let's use this palette, even though the mid-tone right here is a little dark, so I might go in first with one of these. Let's get our fluffiest brush out of the mix. So I am gonna go right up in here. Basically what we're doing is a no makeup look. We're contouring our eyes, so you have to go according to your eye shape. Now in the 20s, I had beautiful hooded eyes that were perfect. They were naturally hooded, no sagging skin, and so I didn't worry about eyeshadow quite as much. I would put some on, but since then I have had blepharoplasty because as I got older, that skin was just taking over my eyes. So now I have more lid space. So I'm gonna do what I can. I'm using this. This is mostly a gold color here, but I still think it's gonna provide a base for this color. Like I said, you just do what's best for your eye shape. You could even take a bronzer or your blush brush, and I might do that, and just run it over your eye and let it naturally catch your brow bone, and that will give you a good natural look. And then I'm going to take a smaller eye brush like this one. I'm going to do it in the same order. First I'm going to take this little gold color and I'm going to run it under my eyes like this, because I do have, see how I have that pronounced lower lid? And putting that shadow down here actually helps a little bit with the wrinkles. And then I'm gonna tap lightly into this next color and stay closer to the lash line and give that a little shadow like that. I think that's it for the eyeshadow. this is nice. I like how it didn't like go everywhere. I think the shades are nice too. I've got this Apricot Fantasy here. It's a nice like shimmery light color. Now I want to blot and just use that. This is the exact way I get my lip combos most days. Now I won't need to redo the liner, but now I'm just gonna use Apricot Fantasy. Now, liner. Back then I did take a pencil liner and a lot of times I used a blue and I would just do a straight line across my eyes. But like I said, back then I had hooded eyes. So that was really the only thing that showed a lot. Now I have such a prominent lid and lash line. I don't like to do that. I like to just wear mascara. And I think that's all I had on the other day. So I'm going to curl my lashes, even though I never do, because I was reading an article from Kevin Aquan, which was the main makeup artist in the 90s. And he was saying that if you don't curl your lashes, it actually does the opposite. It closes your eyes instead of opening them. I kind of like that down and out fluttery lash. But just because I've never really done this much on here, I'm gonna do it today. And this is a Tweezerman. And I am scared because I used to curl my lashes all the time. And I remember sometimes they pull. Okay, so there's the difference. And I was thinking this morning, another thing that I really think you need to try if you haven't is the Lumify drops that make your eyes white. That's another really good product. One of my favorite products that you can get from Walmart that makes a difference in your makeup. And then I also I grabbed these to show you. I've never seen this actual type with the textures like this, but I love these hairbands. They're good ones that don't snag. I don't really need a lot of support until I'm walking, and then I need that support. So let's do a primer. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Primer. So it's a lash primer that's actually dark, which always irritated me that I had to cover up all of that white lash primer. Okay, and because my eyes are so downturned, they're round this way and round that way and smaller. So I like to kind of wing my lashes out like this and focus most of it on the edge. But it depends on what you like. Some people really like them fanned out like that. I'm more of someone who likes them clumpy and kind of pulled out. I never use bottom lash mascara. Do you know what? Just for today, I'm going to do just a little bit. I'm just going to touch the base of my lashes with this primer just to give a little bit. Favorite mascara ever. I just went to go visit a friend and I took her some. I think back then I liked Lancome Definicils and then Max Factor. Wasn't there one like 2,000 calorie or something like that? Okay, you guys, I feel good about it. Let's see. Hair down. I don't think I ever used a curling iron. Once in a while, I would use hot rollers, especially in my early 20s when I used to bartend and waitress. I loved to hot roll my hair and then put it in one of those long goody banana clips. I mean, the long, not fancy. And I would clip it up and it would just be, you know, curls coming down. It was a good way to be able to wear your hair up because you had to for the rules, you know, health, sanitation reasons, but it still gave you that long hair. I loved it. After that, like when I was in my mid-20s, I washed my hair every morning. I took a shower every morning and I would just blow dry it. I don't even think I used a round brush. Who knows? It was probably frizzy as all get out, but I think this is a very good way to show 90s minimal makeup, and I hope you liked it. Thank you to Walmart for partnering with me on this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down below. It's funny because the day that I did this makeup, I asked John and he said he liked the wings and the lashes. So it'll be interesting to hear what you say. Have a good day and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.